We're getting close to the end of the year, and we can't think of a better way to almost end the year than to visit a person that's very near and dear to old T-Max's heart. We're talking about Spider-Man. But which Spider-Man? I mean, there's so many, isn't there? Well, according to this film, there's a whole bunch of them. And we're going to talk about every single one of them when we review Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse on a very web-slinging edition of the review. Spider-Man.
Hey, welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big thwipping opinions. See what I did there? Comics. I'm Troy to the Max Extreme.
I'm Miles.
Really went above and beyond on that one.
I know. Thought I was going to think of something. I was going to throw it out there. Here's something creative, and then it's just, no.
Took a dump.
I'll just say the first name of the main character.
Today we're going to be going over the highly anticipated.
So many people are loving this movie, Troy.
Yeah. Well, what do we think?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
With me being a super fan, did I
know.
fall in love with
With
this
this
movie?
being the only show you do where you can talk about Spider-Man. I feel you're going to get a big unload.
Just a nasty release.
It's like a big red and blue dump.
So, all of that up at the top of the hour. But first, let's wet our whistle with these Snake Hollow IPAs and a little bit of news.
So weedy.
It's a tad hoppy, but crisp.
It is. This is one of the few IPAs that are actually good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Snake Hollow IPA by Batosi.
Check it out sometime. JT.
Yes.
Did you see this? Did you see?
See this? Hear about this?
See this? Hear about this? Did
See
you
my
see?
Got a bunch of cars.
Did you see that Entertainment Weekly
Yeah.
put it out?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They revealed what the live-action genie looks like in the live-action Disney remake of Aladdin.
They did.
Your thoughts?
No.
I'll give you one. Underwhelmed! I saw it, I'm like, really? That's it?
He looks like a drag queen.
Will Smith with a ponytail. And a vest.
Yep. There's a lot of vest wearing in this.
There are probably too many vests in this.
Yeah, I think even Jasmine was wearing a vest.
Oh, that's too many vests.
Everyone's got a vest on.
What do they think this is?
Oh, no, shut up. See, even my computer is like, the vests. Too much.
Vests!
Too many vests.
I don't know. Maybe it'll look better in motion.
Man, I just think Aladdin is one of those movies you just can't make in live action. Because everything I've seen about it is just like, that looks so dumb.
Yeah,
Even that mini teaser trailer they came out with, it's just like, okay, you're trying to make this temple, like that fucking lion head temple look kind of realistic, but then it's not as cool as an actual lion head coming out of the sand.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at a very ominous hole in the ground.
That so far, really, Disney hasn't let us down with the remakes. They've been on par. They haven't been bad, but I still don't feel like they've ever surpassed the original with anything. No. I'm looking forward to the Lion King one.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I really like Aladdin.
Yeah,
and it came at a really poignant time in our life.
And there's so much about Aladdin where it's just, even it's like a combination of like a product of its time, but also timeless because of all the Robin Williams humor and stuff. And I feel like all of that is just going to, with like the fact that they're making it live action and they also have to make it poignant for today, is just going to make it a big ball of trash. And I do not know how the fuck they're going to make it.
Okay, what do you think Will Smith's genie is going to be like? Not visually, because we've seen that.
Yeah.
Do you think...
He's got to drop his signature Will Smith catchphrases. Oh, hell nah.
Well, okay.
And then, okay, so that's it, huh? I'm a genie.
What is this? Some sort of...
What is this? What is this? Some kind of lamp that I'm in?
That I've been imprisoned in? Okay, so hear me out. This may be a hot take.
Okay.
What if Aladdin and company, minus the genie, play it straight? Like they're in, like, Arabia, right? And everything's decorated and it's ornate looking. That's what I'm actually kind of looking forward to, like the very ornateness of, like, the, like, India at this time.
Yeah.
And then Will Smith is Will Smith. Like, he plays it like he's totally not in the time. Kind of like...
he's a time traveler?
Not like a time traveler, but he, like... He's, like, kind of maybe fourth wall breaking a little bit to kind of, like, play it off like Robin Williams was, like, saying things that's going to happen in the future and all this kind of stuff. What if it's played off like that?
Oh, yeah, because I know, like, there's always been, like, theories that, like, my favorite theory about Aladdin is that it's a post-apocalyptic future, and that's why Robin Williams, and that's why the genie always has so many, like, jokes about present day, is because it's so far in the past, and he was alive during that time.
That makes that movie way sadder. For the world. So anyway, I think I would like that. But maybe next week I'll change my tune. I'm not sure. Right now, I think it's a good idea.
I don't know. He just looks dumb.
Oh, yeah.
He looks dumb. I don't even think I like how Aladdin looks in it.
See, I'm willing to give it a chance and fall into it. So, well, we'll see. Won't we? We'll probably see it.
I just think maybe Aladdin should have been the one where they just kept a cartoon. Because it's... I don't see what you can do live action to Aladdin that's going to be like... It's still going to keep that magic. Because so much about Aladdin was just... It was so over the top.
Yeah.
That I don't even think you can match that over the topness in any form of live action.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, won't we?
We'll see.
What else we got here, JT? Have you seen all of the marketing stuff for the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
No.
It is very bizarre and deals pretty specifically with only his legs. Did you... Okay, so if you haven't seen it, one of the posters, online posters, was a shot of, like, the Golden Gate Bridge and Sonic the Hedgehog sitting on it, but your viewpoint is from his perspective.
Yeah.
And so he's looking down, and you just see his muscular man legs with sneakers on. And it set the internet ablaze for a good afternoon. And then it stopped. And then today on Twitter, I just saw another ad for Sonic the Hedgehog where it's just like... You could tell it's Sonic, but he's behind like a big sign he's holding, and then all you see is a pair of muscular legs underneath. And it's kind of creeping me out a little bit.
Like, whoever's making this is just really into hedgehog legs.
I'm going to see if I can pull it up really quick.
Check out the gams on this thing.
Yeah. Okay. I found the one with the bridge already. There's that one.
What?
Yeah. And let me...
They look so weird.
Yeah, very weird.
They're like blue and furry, but they're like...
Muscular.
They look like runner legs.
And let me see if I can find the one on Twitter, because that one.
Like, how is that going to? I'm trying to think of like how that's going to match up to a hedgehog.
I don't think it really can. He doesn't really look.
He
like
looks
a
like
hedgehog.
He looks just like a. His legs look like just a person that's just really blue and furry.
Yeah, of course.
But he's supposed to be a hedgehog.
Right. I got really have no words for it at all. I'm trying to. Maybe I liked it this morning because I thought it was weird looking. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, it's weird. It kind of creeps me out.
It's creepy.
So everyone check it out. That's what the internet's good for.
Oh yeah.
So this leads into kind of our Monday episode, what we have coming up for Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We have the Die Hard review.
Yes.
Coming up Monday.
The one you've all been waiting for. Ever since you started listening to us, you were just like, okay, but when are they going to fucking do Die Hard?
Right. So not only will we be reviewing Die Hard next Monday, but we are also definitively going to answer, is it a Christmas movie?
This is where you're going to get, this is when it's going to turn to law.
Right.
We've got the Senate and the House all listening in.
That's right.
Waiting for us to give them the answers so they can pass the law.
Right.
That says.
Yeah, and it's unvetoable.
Yeah, unvetoable.
Yeah. I mean, that's a word, too. So.
Yeah. Unvetable
is
what we...
But to aid to their cause, maybe before they go out of business and get completely sold over to Disney, Fox has officially released a Die Hard Christmas movie trailer to aid in their... I don't even know it's to aid them in anything, but to get more behind the proponents of the Die Hard being a Christmas film.
Yes.
So they at least have another argument behind them.
Yes.
But what? I have not seen it. I don't want to sway my opinion.
Okay.
I just finished the movie earlier today.
Okay.
Like I do. Always.
Every time.
Down to the wire. I'll get it done. Don't you worry about it. But next Monday, you'll get your answer.
Yes. As a early Christmas present.
That's right.
On Christmas Eve.
Santa will be coming, gifting... I can't finish. I don't know. Just giving presents or some shit. Just finish it yourself.
He's gonna fucking give presents.
Finish it yourself. Who cares? Netflix, JT.
Yes.
Netflix has been doing gangbusters lately.
Mm-hmm.
Not only has it been upping its subscriber base way more than I thought of for this last quarter or this last year.
Yes.
It also has been releasing a ton of content this last year.
Yes.
And
quite a bit.
It says here that Netflix is aiming to release 90 movies a year.
Jesus.
Maybe not starting in 2019, but it's a goal to release 90 movies a year. That does not include series.
God.
And will give them up to $200 million budgets for some releases.
Jesus.
They're really trying to get that foot in the door for those big budget movies. I mean, the only one we've really seen so far is Bright.
Yeah.
And that hit upon mixed reviews.
Mm-hmm.
To be kind.
To be as kind as possible.
You know, I was on the Credits Due podcast, and on a rewatch of Bright, I liked it a little more.
Well, there you go. Watch it again.
There's still issues with it. Let me give you that.
Just make you watch it like every month until you get to you know what? It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, well, that's called Stockholm Syndrome. But I don't think it's terrible, but it's not great.
Yeah.
It falls on that line. So it fits in that weird wedge of a genre flick that only Netflix would be able to produce because nobody else would take the gamble on it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's it can't pick a lane, and that's what rubs people the wrong way, or maybe they just don't like it in general because I for reasons. Why didn't you like it, JT?
It was dumb.
There you have it. It's dumb. Moving on to another streaming service, JT.
Yeah.
One that I know you have. The DC All Access DC Universe app.
I watch it religiously.
I know you do.
Actually, I have it playing on my phone right now as you're talking.
But we'll pay attention.
Shit.
Be in the moment, JT.
Too busy watching fucking Titans.
Oh, then are you going to be watching its finale coming up where the Titans fight Batman? Oh, that's coming up on the finale of Titans on the DC Universe app.
But we were supposed to fuck Batman.
That's very true. What happened to that?
What happened to the Batman fucking?
The only reason I bring this up, JT, is because this is the first official... Ooh, whistled there. First official television appearance of Batman that's not like a cameo of some sort in the shadows. Since Adam West.
Adam Wee.
So that's pretty significant. Because up until now, his rights are always tied up in movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me why you wouldn't want to put Batman on TV.
Yeah.
Because I think it would sell.
Well, the animated series, he was on TV
But
for
like
that.
a live action thing.
Okay.
I think he had a cameo in the Birds of Prey series that was on like Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay.
But for like one episode, and you saw him from the shadows.
And you saw his dick.
And you probably saw his dick, too. I mean, it was shadowed, but if you really squint...
You looked really hard
you
enough.
can see that veiny
little
little fucker.
Veiny little fucker. That VLF.
Yeah, classic VLF move. Even had like a little belt on it.
Sporting a real VLF over here.
So check that out. The Titans finale, I think, is pretty soon. If it's not this week, it's in the next week or so.
Yeah.
But
watch Batman get fucked.
There you have it. By the Titans. By some kids. By some
Tune
teenagers.
into the Titans finale where Batman fucks some kids.
I probably should say allegedly in front of that, but we forgot.
Well, we're getting sued.
Keeping on that DC train. Check
Okay.
out all these segues I got going on here.
Jesus Christ, it's like you fucking
Plan this
trained
shit.
yourself.
Aquaman is coming out
Yeah.
today if you're listening when this drops.
Yes.
And projected for a pretty steep opening weekend. You got the long extended holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot of people who go see movies on Christmas, but people do.
My parents usually won't go to movies on Christmas.
Do they?
Yeah. We're heathens.
All right. Well, enjoy your eternity in hell.
I love it.
But Aquaman is projected. Guess what the projection of the opening weekend is?
80 million.
No.
90 million.
No.
200 million.
No. $120 million.
Woof.
To put that into perspective, I'm just going to give you what Spider-Man's, the movie we're reviewing tonight.
Yeah.
I'll give you a T-fact early.
Whoa.
The opening weekend for... Oh, fuck, I didn't write it down. But it's for the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Was like $30 million.
Yeesh.
And with all the fanfare and publicity it's getting, I thought that seemed a little low,
Yeah.
to be honest. Especially since Aquaman is projected to get like 4 times that amount.
Yeah, I can't see it being that much.
I can't either. But maybe we'll be surprised. There's a
maybe,
lot of DC
we don't know, maybe
fanboys out
worldwide,
there.
Aquaman is...
I think it's already been released around the world, and we just have to wait to get it here.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was Bumblebee I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Who fucking
Fight back,
cares?
B!
Last bit of news I got, JT, still in that DC universe. The Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie
Yeah.
has wrapped.
Okay.
Wrapped filming. Principal photography, I should say.
Yeah.
Reshoots are probably going to be in order in the next month or so. Don't be worried. They happen all the time. I'm very curious about this movie. The more I see about it, the more I think I'm actually going to like it. And
it scares the living shit out of me.
It scares the ever-living shit out of me. But yeah, so you still stoked about this Joker flick?
I mean, I'm curious. I definitely want to check it out. Like I said, I don't care if people rehash old shit as long as they make it good.
Yeah. And I don't even know if they're rehashing this as much as, like, kind of just doing whatever they want and just slapping a Joker name on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that's not really the case. And if they're going to have it be a Joker movie, be a Joker movie, not just like, I'm a psycho clown. Now I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm like, oh, then why didn't you just make a psycho clown movie? Call it Psycho Clown.
That's perfect. Perfect name for a movie.
I mean, really, come on. Come on!
But, no, from what I heard, it sounds like a really interesting take on the Joker. So I'd be curious to see it, for sure. Plus, Joaquin Phoenix is pretty good, even though he's crazy.
Right.
I think he's good.
Well, he's back up on an upswing now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've said that already about something else. Upswing. Everything's on an upswing.
Everything's on an upswing. New year, new you.
That's right.
It's getting there.
New you, babe.
New you, babe.
That's it. So that's all my news, JT.
Well, the only thing you didn't bring up that I have is, I guess, Apple in the process of developing their own streaming service.
Right.
They've already landed their first big get.
Oh, really?
They're planning on putting out new episodes of The Peanuts.
Oh, that classic rock, Charles Schultz cartoon?
Yes.
All right. Seems like an odd get for a debut thing.
It might, I don't know. Well, one of the things that they've got.
Oh.
They're not released yet.
I know.
But
I get it.
Kids could probably get into it.
Do kids care about Peanuts?
I don't know. They put that movie out like last year.
How'd that do?
I don't know, but I mean, I heard it's good.
Yeah, sure. Did people watch it?
Look, I don't know this shit. I don't have my finger on the pulse.
We're supposed to. That's what we've chosen to do.
We live in the middle of goddamn nowhere. How are we supposed to know this shit?
Want me to look it up right now?
Sure.
Peanuts movie, 2015 film.
So they have to adjust for inflation.
87% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.1 out of 10 for IMDb.
Yeah.
What do we got?
So it's good.
Box office 246 million.
So there you go.
All right. Pretty good.
Now who's got egg on their face?
Look at me, old egg-faced teapots over here. Oh, look at me, embarrassed over here that I didn't know shit about the Peanuts movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to really catch up on your Peanuts, Troy.
Who knew that a 50-year-old gag of Charlie Brown being depressed and not kicking a football could still be relevant? They
really treat Charlie Brown like shit.
Yeah. I think I'm the Charlie Brown of my work now that you say that. Just following up on a conversation we were having right before we hit record.
It's all hitting you like Usual Suspect style.
Yeah.
You just dropped your beer and just all these events are flashing through your mind.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm the Charlie Brown. Fuck.
Is that why they keep calling me Blockhead?
Oh. God.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not the Charlie Brown of my work, but the other day, someone held a football for me to kick, and I missed it. And then they laughed at me. But I mean, that's not Charlie Brown, right?
I mean, I think that's just a coincidence at this point.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's really kicking you now.
My life just got real.
It's really setting in right now.
Oh, brother.
I feel like we should hit pause right now. Give you time to
just
readjust.
Myself. Oh.
Well, Troy.
Good grief.
Since you're depressed, let's talk about someone that's dead, huh?
Oh,
All
right. All right.
On a very Troy's depressed edition of Neil's Bits.
Oh boy.
I know, that was a really gross intro into the song.
Dying, it's the pits.
He's gonna eat a whole he's gonna eat a whole goddamn handful of Chex Mix during Neil's bits. You know, now that I think about it, maybe this is a little disrespectful to the dead people. And that's a song. Oh, shit.
All right. Back to being serious.
We gotta get serious,
sad.
Troy. We gotta get seriously sad.
Mm-hmm.
Because dead at 75, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Famous actress and director
Oh, my.
Penny Marshall passed away due to complications of diabetes.
Ah, that diabetes.
Yep.
Gotta watch out for that.
Yep. Took Wilford. Took her too.
Oh, no. We'll be eating Quaker Oats in heaven.
Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
No, that's really sad. You brought up watching A League of Their Own, right?
Yeah.
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 For what reason, as I was saying that, I was like, I don't think that's right. But yeah.
For a possible Monday up for next week. But we got something else in mind that I'll bring up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she's directed quite a bit. She's actually directed a movie that I was talking about us reviewing for next year at some point. Yeah, she directed Big.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Man, I guess she did more than I thought.
Yeah. Like that's her two big movies are Big and A League of Their Own.
Mm.
But she was Laverne and Shirley.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing I remember her from the most is I think she did like some like commercials with Rosie O'Donnell or something.
Oh, I don't remember those.
When I was like really young, I
I
remember
like
she
how
did
that's
like
how
these.
what you remember the most is the commercial.
That was the first time I saw her. I don't remember Laverne and Shirley or anything, but I remember like just like this monotone older woman with Rosie O'Donnell as being Rosie.
Excuse me. So you're saying she's leaving a legacy behind
Yeah.
with those commercials?
Yeah. I don't know what commercials. I don't even know if it's Rosie O'Donnell. I just remember that she was in them.
And for what reason, she was saying Rosie, right?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, man. So, with you leaving a legacy behind, you will be missed.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
You will live on, and we will definitely talk about your works in the future.
Ditto.
For sure.
Well, JT,
Is it done?
not only is it done, but a big one got done.
Oh, God.
A big one done did it.
One that we've been asking, is that ever going to come out?
Chomping at the bit, JT. But before we get to that one, I got one other one.
Okay.
Do you have any other trailers besides that one?
No.
I have one other one. The Lego Movie 2, the second part, the second trailer.
Okay.
Came out earlier today as well.
Yes.
Thought it was fun.
Good.
They introduce in this trailer the Duplo big block Legos as like being childlike and horrifying at the same time. So I thought that was pretty
Much
fun.
like Duplos are.
Mm-hmm. So I thought that was a fun aspect. Otherwise, they showed a little bit of the same kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to this again.
Good.
I actually was thinking to myself today, for no reason at all, are Duplo's Lego brand, or is Duplo just Duplo brand?
I think they are Lego.
Are they?
Yeah.
Just for little kids so they don't swallow them and die?
Yes.
Those when I need to get my my daughter. Let me take this down. Return
Write this down.
all Legos.
Write it down.
Only Duplos.
But no, we went to for Molly Pop's birthday. We went to Chicago and went to like this pretty big mall in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And they had a Lego store, and that place was badass as fuck. Like they had like a station where they have like a bunch of like pieces of like people,
Uh-huh.
and you can make your own. You can make 3 of your own Lego people, and like
nice.
box it up, and like I think it was like $9 to get like 3 Lego people. But it's like they have like every single aspect of like a Lego person in this giant vat of things, and you can just like pick the pieces out and then like configure whatever you want for every person.
Cool.
I mean, there's probably swimming in germs and bacteria, just like a bunch of kids like digging their hands out of their ass to like fucking grab this shit. But it was fun. I was like sitting there like making Lego people for like
hours.
Yeah, hour. Yep. Well, shit. Molly and her friend were like fucking buying dresses and shit. And I'm not gonna do that. So I was like, I'm just gonna fucking sit here and make Lego people.
Duplo is a product range of the construction toy Lego, designed for children aged 1.5 to 5 years old.
What's your wiki yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. Sorry, I'm just very curious boy tonight.
That's why they call me Whiskers. I'm curious like a cat.
The other big trailer, JT, finally, the internet answered the call.
We've been waiting.
The Hellboy trailer finally dropped this afternoon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you take the floor on this. I have an opinion, but I am more curious about your opinion.
Okay. Well, my opinion is I think it looks like it has a smaller budget than the original Hellboy movies.
Okay.
But I'm still looking forward to it. It definitely looks more violent. It's definitely Hellboy blowing off dudes' heads with his big fucking revolver.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it takes a more lighter approach.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
I was kind of taken back by it a little bit. Because it was lighter than I expected.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to think about it, because the book isn't really... I don't want to compare it to the book. But the Guillermo del Toro ones were more closer in tone to the book. Which I think I've grown to like... Well, not that I've grown to like, but I was looking for this one to be.
Yeah.
And maybe I just need to see it again and, like, see the movie and, like it for what it is.
Yeah.
Rather than just, like, put my expectations on it.
See, because I think I would like it more if it is different. Because if it's just them rehashing the same shit from, like, the original Hellboys, then it's just going to be, so you're pretty much just doing the same shit.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking for him to, like, necessarily rehash, but I think the tone was a little off. Like, they can make up their own story, and I don't really care, because Hellboy does, like, anything.
Yeah.
But I was like... Even with the song choice that they had in the trailer, I was like, what are they going for this? And I don't even know if I'm completely sold on David Harbour.
Yeah, he has a more different voice.
Uh-huh. But, I don't know. Maybe...
Like, he looks way more make-upped up than...
Perlman?
Yeah, Perlman. I don't think Perlman had to have that much more like, Perlman got made up, but it was like... Ron Perlman had, like, the perfect Hellboy face.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you didn't have to sculpt too much around it. Whereas with David Harbour, they were like, we got to do some work here.
Yeah.
To really Hellboy him up.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. I wonder if Dave's seen the trailer yet.
Call him up. Let's call him right now.
Ghost Hunter Dave is, like, the biggest Hellboy fan I've known.
Call him on the phone
ever.
and put him on speaker.
I'm not going to call him on the phone because he'll sabotage this podcast.
I'm coming over.
I wonder if
What are you guys talking about? Spider-Man?
I'll be right there.
I'll be right there. Coming over. We're outside your house.
Oh, okay.
All right.
He posted something on Twitter, and this is all he said. Huh. Yeah. And then posted the link to the trailer.
Uh-oh.
So things could be...
Well, maybe we'll ask him to deep dive into it when we have him on for our best of.
Well, we better. He better deep dive. Better not eat up a lot of our time, though. God, he's so long-winded. Fuck. Just giving him... I love fucking breaking his balls when he can't defend himself. Oh, it's so good. So anyway, yeah, what did everyone else think of the Hellboy trailer? Hit us up on Review Pod.
I'm not too, like, unlike you and Dave, I'm not so torn to the original material.
Source material.
So it looks like what they're doing with it is fun.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Okay. Fair enough. That's all I got to say about it.
Okay. Well, Troy, we are ending the Term Random Movies 4. We had White Men Can't Jump versus Jerry Maguire. Did you see who won, Troy?
I think I did. Unless yesterday it got upset.
It did not. That's right, Troy. We are doing the Tom Cruise film Jerry Maguire
Uh-huh.
as a film in the future from the Term Random Movies.
Mm-hmm.
Very curious to see it. I don't think I've ever watched it all the way through.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if that went... This might have been one of my top contenders for a finalist, but I don't know if I would have taken this as winning
Yeah.
the whole tournament on this one.
Which one did you really want to win?
I don't know. I'd probably say Lone Ranger because I'm like an idiot. But I can't remember all of them. I know a lot of these when it started, I'm like, that's going to get voted out. I don't care about that. But there's some of them like, I bet that's going to get to the final. I think, and I don't know if I would have picked this one to win it though.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got a lot of nostalgia people out there. Little
I know.
some 90s
Those
kids.
fucking millennials out there. Let me tell ya.
I know.
But Troy, with that ending,
Mm-hmm.
I do have Term Random Movies 5
Wow.
built up. We've already done
Wow.
4 of these things. We're now on number 5. What a
Unreal.
milestone.
Unreal.
What a milestone.
5th.
And I think this one's going to be good.
Okay.
I did a lot of like pondering where I'd had one sit in there for a while and I'd be like, yeah, no, we're not going to watch that.
Okay.
Take it out.
All right.
So, yeah, there's a lot of different ones.
Okay.
I did leave some wild cards in there to be like, why the fuck is that in there?
Okay.
So we'll see.
All right.
We'll see which one ends up winning Random Movies 5.
Okay.
But, of course, we have to start with the first matchup.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, I'll have you guess it, Troy.
All right.
And, oh, fuck, I forgot to get this taglines. So I already fucked up.
Oh, Jesus.
But, we've got one from 2009,
Oh,
which
okay.
is the probably more underrated films of a horror director.
Okay.
And the other one is a Disney film from a film made by Disney that wasn't as successful by a director who is known for his successful Disney films.
Okay.
I will now pull up the tagline for the first one. Let me find it, because I'm dumb.
Huh.
Here we go. The tagline for the first film: Christine Brown has a good job, a great boyfriend, and a bright future. But in 3 days, she's going to hell.
Does it drag me to hell?
It is Drag Me to Hell,
Okay.
Troy.
All right.
Yeah. Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say it's one of his more underrated films.
I don't think I've ever finished that movie. Like, I had it as
You
a rental.
started it? You
I
never
did start it.
Oh, okay.
And I know the ending, but, like, it must have been one... I know it was one that I watched when I still worked at the grocery store and they had the rental program there.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would just bring a ton of stuff home, but I had to get them back the next day because I would, like, take them for free.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did that shit, too.
But, so... I had to bring it back the next day, and I think I fell asleep during it, and I didn't see the ending. And then I had to bring it back.
Well, Troy, you might get the chance
All right.
to see it.
All right. Good.
The movie for the second one from 2015, tagline: Imagine a place where nothing is impossible.
Tomorrowland.
It is Tomorrowland.
All right. I forgot that was a Disney film.
Yeah.
Or that it was a film. I've never seen this. I don't think anybody saw this.
No, it shit the bed. But it's weird. It's weird because it was made by Brad Bird.
Right. It's like a pet project of something that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think it was anyway.
Let me see. Is it a Disney movie?
I think it is because it's based on a Disney ride.
Yeah, it's based on Disney ride.
Yeah, but I remember like when this movie came out, like anybody that would review it, they're like, I don't know who this movie's for. Like,
Yeah.
kids are gonna go see it, and they're like, who's George Clooney? Who cares?
Yeah.
And then the adults are like, I don't like this movie because it's for kids. Or whatever. So I don't know. But Brad Bird usually does like a good balance of like stuff for kids and adults. So maybe it's probably not as bad as what people made it out to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even remember if people even thought it was bad. I just think they knew it couldn't find an audience, and that probably is the thing.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know. It was interesting.
All right. Have you seen this?
I have not seen it.
I think Dinosaur Neil saw it.
Hmm.
Dinosaur Neil, his up. Did you
Yeah.
see Tomorrowland?
Should we see Tomorrowland?
Let us know.
But there you go. What do you think? Strong matchup for the strong first matchup
I
for
think
the
so.
movies 5?
I think so.
All right. There you go. Drag Me to Hell versus Tomorrowland. We'll see who moves on, and we'll see what other films are in the tournament next week. Of course, also look forward to that Jerry Maguire review somewhere down the line.
All right. Well, with all of that out of the way, all the cordial stuff,
Yeah.
that we just get you warmed and primed for a review.
All warmed up.
We have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse that dropped this last week, December 14th, 2018.
Yeah. Winter release.
Budget of $90 million.
Ooh.
Domestically made $42.4 million as
Gotcha.
of the 18th.
Okay.
Worldwide, $62.9 million.
It's getting up there.
It's all right. Rotten Tomatoes has that at a 97%.
It's pretty high.
Was rocking 100% until probably a few dickholes went out and just said they hated it for some reason.
Yeah.
I need to look those up to see what their arguments were for it.
I remember there's a podcast I listened to where they brought it up where they said that one of the guys said that he thought the animation was choppy.
I do have something to say about the animation.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh.
That could be good or bad.
I had a very ominous look on your face when you said
well,
it.
I wanted to be like, dramatic go for that shit. IMDb has that at an 8.8 out of 10. And your favorite, Box Office Mom,
The mom's back.
gave it 4 out of 5 buckets.
Bitch in her buckets.
This motion picture was made from Sony Pictures Animation
Yeah.
that, if put a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you another movie made by Sony Pictures Animation.
I think they made The Croods.
I looked it up, JT.
Yeah.
Could you name some Sony Pictures Animation movies?
I think they made The Smurfs.
They did make the Smurfs.
They didn't make The Croods, did they?
I don't know. Probably not. I think that was DreamWorks.
Damn it.
The Croods. Why would I fucking know that?
I don't know. You asked me. You fucking asshole.
So you have the Smurfs. It is one. There's a big one that came out like a year or two ago.
Oh, Jesus.
That totally shit the bed.
Shit, I don't know.
The Emoji Movie.
Oh,
Was a
God, that's
Sony
right.
animation.
Yeah, I remember, yeah. Because there people are just, like, giving it shit. Sony's losing it. They gotta fucking-
yeah, because it has, like, stinkers in there, like the Emoji Movie and the Smurfs. Like, who gives a shit about the Smurfs?
Yeah.
But it also has these 3 franchises. It's got the Goosebumps franchise,
Yeah.
which apparently is the Sony Pictures Animation branch.
Yeah.
But they have the Goosebumps movie that did pretty well and its sequel.
Yeah.
Hotel Transylvania series,
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
which I've seen the first one and I don't hate it.
Yeah.
It was on at a friend's house for.
But were
one
they
of
on
the
a
kids.
cruise? Like they're...
No. So
'Cause
that one
guess
could
what?
be the bad one.
Guess what they're doing in their next one, Troy?
Are they on a cruise?
They're going on a cruise.
Can't wait to see that one. And then they also do the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies.
I've heard that's good.
Did you see that? Any of them?
No, but I've heard
first one's really good.
I heard the first one's really good. And I heard the second one's like not too bad either. Like it's not like a full-fledged like rehashing of the first one.
I didn't see the second one.
But it's like there's like people food hybrids that are like
horrific.
Yeah. But it's like I don't know. I heard it's like good.
All right. Yeah, the first one was good, and when it came out, I thought the animation was pretty stellar.
Yeah.
Just like the dreamscapiness of like food and stuff falling from the sky, I thought it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it, and the story's good. Bill Hader's great as the main character.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so enough about these facts, JT. I just need the facts of what happened in this movie from you specifically.
From me?
Yes.
So do you want me to do this one, or do you want me to do Die Hard?
All right, I'll take the wheel.
I figured since you're the expert, I'll leave the Spider-Man-ing to you. And leave the John McClane-ing to me.
You dog. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse follows main character Miles Morales on his on a day in the life of him. He comes from a very loving family. His father, Jefferson Davis, which is a controversial name, and his Latino mother. So he's a mixed race, which makes him almost like a one-of-a-kind kind of superhero already, just by appealing to a crowd that's not represented at all.
Oh, yeah. I did find it odd that his dad was the one who was black, but yet his last name is Morales.
Yeah. Maybe they're not married. Maybe it's a...
Oh, maybe not, because... Oh, wait. They live in the same house, don't they?
Yeah. Are you married to your girlfriend? What?
Look, don't put my dirty laundry out there, Troy.
So, anyway...
I just think families should not be started until marriage.
You're a very old-fashioned type guy, right?
Yeah, call me old-fashioned, but...
So, anyway, he goes on a little tagging adventure with his Uncle Aaron.
Yeah.
And there he gets nibbled on by a genetically altered spider, which changes his course of his life forever, JT, becoming a brand new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But with that, finds out that the Kingpin is up to no good, and he is trying to hatch a scheme in which he's trying to bridge other universes together.
Yeah.
And a mishap happens, and now there are a bunch of Spider-Men in Miles Morales' backyard.
Yeah.
What's a man to do? Spider-Man.
Gotta do some Spider-Man.
And then action ensues.
Yeah.
There you have Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Spoiler-free? Was that a good spoiler-free one, or did he go into too much detail on that? Fuck
No,
it.
you didn't.
Fuck it.
No, you didn't go too far into it.
Good. So, spoiler-free, JT, let me just talk about the visual style a little bit. I brought it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The animation in this, from the trailers when I first saw it, I wasn't in love with this animation.
Really?
I thought it looked kind of... I liked the design work of it. Mm-hmm. But it was throwing me off, like, the little jitteriness of the animation, because it looked like a computer animation, but for claymation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was missing frames in there.
Yeah. Like, it does have, like, some stop-motion feels to it every once in a while.
Yeah. But not all the time.
No.
But I fell in love with this animation.
Yeah.
Really fast in the movie.
Yeah.
I think that this style is not seen anywhere else.
No. In fact, I think I heard that Sony's trying to patent it.
I heard that too, and I'm like, I don't know how you're going to do that.
Yeah, fuck, man.
They just need something.
Yeah. If we go out of business, at least we can get money from this shit.
So, but I thought it was done amazingly. Like, I'm a huge fan of animation.
Yeah.
And to have, like, such a movie like this look like this, I was, like, grinning from ear to ear.
Oh no, it's so unique for how it looks. Even like I was digging like you could see when they would do really close up shots of people, you can see the stippling, like the dots,
the four colored,
stuff where you could like see it was like, oh shit, like you can see the detail in the art when they get close to a character's face, where it's like they're a full-fledged like animated character,
right?
Where it's like doing close up, you can see that they're art, as opposed to like when they zoom in, it's like no, you got to widen the lines to make it so that they look like a person. But it's like they don't give a shit. They're like, no, this is art. This is an art person.
Yeah,
you're zooming in on a piece of art.
Right. What they did in this, it was like they embraced the comic bookness of it.
Yeah,
like they made a comic book come to life rather than bring, like trying to like how the Marvel movies, they don't make the characters like really jump off the page. They interpret them in a real life situation.
Yeah.
To like bridge them to live action. But this is like if the comic characters just stepped out of the book and are like living right now.
Yeah.
Like even in the little aspects of like the onomatopoeias that are all out. Not like the wham pam of like the wham bam pow of like the 60s Batman. But even like little things when like Spider-Man would throw out his web shooter every once in a while and just say like a tiny little thwip like, by his wrist.
Yeah.
I thought little touches like that were really cool.
Yeah, and even like parts where like the action was kind of building up, they would do things where like frames would kind of like stack on top of each other. Kind of like how you would like read it through a comic book where it's like box on box on box on box.
Right.
And then just kind of moving throughout the screen.
But not Ang Lee Hulk style.
No. No. And they wouldn't do it where they wouldn't like beat it to death. It'd be like if there was something really fast going on, it'd be like...
Yeah. And speaking of really fast, like once this movie, like from the movie's get-go, it like never really slows down.
Not really.
Except for like one moment, I think.
Okay.
But like in a, not like a boring way. Like it slows down to like
It's okay.
make
It's
you
okay,
breathe.
Trey. It's not offended.
Shut up.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, just don't hurt me.
But back to the visual style, and I also liked the a lot the different characters brought in from their own shattered dimension.
Yeah.
That they all have their own visual style.
Yeah,
and
every
it
character
keeps-
seemed to have its own art style even, too.
And it works, too. Like, even Spider-Ham in this, like, is drawn like a...
total Looney Tunes
like
character.
Yeah, like a cartoon character in this, which is awesome. And then Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker, and Miles Morales all kind of look similar. But then you have the Spider-Man Noir, who's all in like black and white.
Yeah.
And then you have the anime type character, Penny Parker, is like straight on like anime.
Yep.
Like, and it all meshes together, and you would think it would clash, but it doesn't.
No, yeah, they blend together well enough where it doesn't. Nothing really strikes you as like you don't belong here.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was done amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Spider-Ham, that John Mulaney does his voice. I thought the voice work in this was stellar.
Yeah, everyone in this is really good. As even the guy that does Peter Parker, Jake Johnson.
Yeah.
I thought he was really fucking good.
Yeah.
As
and
an
I wasn't
older
in
Peter
love
Parker.
with him at first in the trailer either. Like, but I really, once he started going, I was like, oh, yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah. Especially with Jake Johnson, like how he plays a new girl is like kind of like a loser 30-year-old.
Right.
Like he kind of adds that to the Spider-Man where it's like, oh yeah, you totally work
right
for this.
Really good. Anyway, John Mulaney does his voice. This is actually his first theatrical role ever.
Really?
Which surprised me. I'm like, yeah, maybe it is, because I think all he's done is TV.
Yeah. I know.
Or stand-up. And that's about it.
Yeah, because I've seen him. He's been on Crashing a couple times as himself.
Oh, sure. But that's still just HBO.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, it's not TV.
It's HBO. I already said it. Come on. Get to where I want to see this. Come on. Okay, here we go. I can never remember the main character's name who plays Miles Morales. Shameik Moore.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
In this. Like, I don't even know what else he's been in, but I really liked him a lot in this. He really carried, like, the uniqueness of Miles to, like, a T. Like, and I also like the characterization of Miles in this, where he's not just, like, another Peter Parker. You know, he's not, like, some genius.
Yeah, no, this is a completely different story from Peter Parker. And that's what I thought was the most refreshing thing, is that, like, you're being introduced to the story of Spider-Man, but through a completely different story. Like, there's aspects of his life that aren't part of Peter Parker's life that are really interesting, that I really would like to, like, broaden the spectrum on and really, like, dive into some of these things.
Right. And because, like, any other real alternate version of Spider-Man has always kind of been, like, the same story.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, guy, like, genius gets bitten by a spider and now he's Spider-Man or Spider-Woman or whatever.
Yeah. And he's not like a dumb kid, but he's more like a normal kid.
He like, and I don't think they do this in the book unless they've changed it since I dropped off, but he, like, strays more to the artistic side.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, I'm like a chemist or whatever.
Yeah.
A bio, like, chemist, engineer.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really a great idea to stray him more in another direction.
Yeah.
That doesn't just make him like a clone of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love how he's like this person that's kind of torn between two worlds too. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't really have that with Peter Parker, but with him, he's like, he really looks up to his Uncle Aaron, but then he has his dad that wants him to be on the more straight and narrow.
Right.
So it's like he's being torn between these two worlds.
Right.
And it really, like, I thought his whole story was fascinating. Like, I almost kind of wanted to see more. But I've got, like, one major complaint about it I'll get more into in spoilers, but I feel like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse would be an awesome sequel.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, this movie could have really built off of the entire, like, origins of Miles Morales. Because I was fascinated with his story, and I wanted more of it. And I felt like there were some things where they had to swerve away from it to get into the Spider-Verse stuff, when I thought they could have done a lot more with his story.
Okay. I could see that.
I'll go more into detail about it when we go into spoilers, but I thought like the Spider-Verse stuff in general would make an awesome sequel to this story, to, like, Miles Morales' story.
Right. To back up to all the way to the Sony hack.
Yeah.
Because that's when this movie was, like, first announced, when it was like, we got an animated Spider-Man movie coming up, or whatever. But around this time, Sony was just like, I don't even know what they were doing, like, putting out just garbage.
Yeah.
And, like, they just, like, came off of, like, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is kind of just like, ugh.
I think when we talked about this on the show for the first time, you were just like, what are they doing?
Right. Because, like, they're trying to, like, get the whole Tom Holland thing off the ground and, like, do all that kind of... Not even then. Because that would have been before then. But it's like, I don't know if I'm excited for this, because all that Sony was churning out at the time was garbage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why do I want them to do my favorite thing to my favorite person and ruin it? I love animation, and I love Spider-Man. Why would Sony do this to me?
Yeah.
Why, Sony?
Yeah,
but
why did you ruin this, Sony?
Sony has been quickly turning me around with their output lately.
Yeah.
Because not only did they have a really good Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
They're playing ball with Marvel.
Yeah.
This movie came out, and if you can't tell already, I'm pretty much enjoyed it.
Yeah. They made Venom.
Oh, fuck. You just shot my whole theory
your
down.
Universe.
Fucking Charlie Brown over here. God damn it.
I could literally watch the brakes like squeal on your head. Like you're getting all this momentum, and then I just said Venom. You're like, fuck you.
Let me turn that around. Venom's making a lot of money.
Okay.
And they have another Spider-Man on the way.
Yeah.
With Tom Holland, which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
So, like, Venom aside, granted, they're only Spider-Man movies I'm talking about, but I think they're doing pretty great work here.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because they're getting a little bit of, like, nudging from Marvel or Disney. I don't know. I would assume not, because Disney's name isn't on this at all.
No.
But I'm like...
And this is written by Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Well, it's only by Phil Lord.
Oh, Phil Lord. Well, yeah. But, but he's part of that group.
Right. He probably threw a little nudge and a wink in there,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, oh.
But not directed by them.
Yeah, no, it's not directed by... I don't know who's directed by.
It's like some first-time director,
Yeah.
actually. So I was, like, actually pretty surprised.
Yeah.
This movie also has, like, a killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
Granted, like, the songs that they use in this aren't songs that I'd probably go out and just listen to on my own.
No.
But in the context of the movie, I'm like, man, these fit in here really well.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the freaking Sunflower song. I was telling you right before that. Like, I am, like, obsessed with that song now because it's just always stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know anything about Post Malone or anything like that. I'm an old man. I don't get music nowadays. But, like, this song has been, like, an earworm in my head. So much so that I tagged it on my podcast to do with Chelsea at the very end.
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone needs to hear this song. Because everyone listens to that podcast.
Everyone
and their mothers listens to it, JT.
Yeah.
But what did you think about all that stuff? I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No, I thought the music was good. Like, I was thinking they would, like, knowing Sonny, they would go the racist route with it and be like, just do all rap. Just bunch of, like, super hardcore rap the whole time. Because we got to put over that, hey, he's a black kid.
Right.
Oh, all the black kids love the rap. We'll put the rap in there.
Total Sony racist move.
Yeah. But no, like, a lot of the music in this was contemporary, but I thought it fit moments pretty well.
Yeah. They even had St. Elmo's Fire in here somewhere, which was really good.
Oh,
I love
that's
that song.
That's right.
So the only egregious part of this that I thought was that anytime Miles was, like, listening to music...
Oh, the Sony branding?
He had the Sony branded headphones on.
Biggest Sony cans.
I'm like, okay, that's pretty egregious. But I guess if I was a company and I had products, I would probably put my name on them.
And it wasn't like he was being like, wow, these have such great quality.
Right. Didn't pull out his... I need to get out my new Sony Ericsson telephone, or what? That's not even a real phone anymore, is it?
I don't know.
Who gives a shit? But anyway, like, that was about, like, the most egregious thing, I think, of the movie to me, was, like, branding. But I'm like, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you do it, really? They had a few awesome references that I'll just touch on here, but I'll bring up in spoilers. To previous Spider-Man films.
Oh yeah, like all the movie references in the beginning were pretty fucking funny.
They got, like, audible laughter in the theater.
Oh my god, I was losing it.
And also, I like that they make character changes in this for the better, I think.
Yeah,
at least for this movie. And so I'll bring those up in spoilers too, but it like actually surprised me on some of them. And I was like, I really like that. And so, like, that everything all about it so far was like, it kept me on my toes.
Yeah.
And I was pretty stoked all the way through. If I, like, had any complaints, spoiler free, that maybe it's just me as, like, an older man, an old man now, is that it is, like, nonstop all the way through. It doesn't really give you a chance to take a break and really take a lot of stuff in.
Yeah, not really.
But really, it's a simple-ish, well, I don't even know. It's a simple-ish kind of story for an outrageous premise.
Yeah. It's as simple as the stories you can get about universes clashing into one another, and then introducing multiple Spider-Men.
Right. But the end point is, like, a pretty simple premise. It's not, like, a weird, complicated thing they gotta do.
Yeah, that's true.
But, like, I was surprised, actually, for, like, an out-there premise for a mass audience, that it was handled so well.
Yeah.
And, like, it's pretty it's like entry level stuff. If like you're into any sci-fi at all, you could go in and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to get.
Oh, sure.
I suppose like maybe some olds would hate it. Like
Some olds. Jesus Christ.
Like, I don't know. My mom and dad could go see it and they'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I like it.
Fucking
That's
ageist.
cute. Yeah, sometimes I am. Sometimes they suck.
God, I'm sitting around a bunch of olds.
Anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say of that spoiler free.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty much on the same boat. I thought the animation was gorgeous, and like my only really complaint is that I feel like it tries to do too much. Where I think like if this particular movie was split into two separate movies, I think they would have gotten more out of a story out of each film as opposed to like trying to do so much in one film.
Okay. Recommend to go see it in theaters?
I would definitely see it in theaters. I think a lot of the visuals need to be seen on a big screen for sure.
It is in 3D, and I don't think it needs to be seen in 3D. Because
That might be interesting though.
they're definitely at the end.
Yeah.
But I think I listened to a review of somebody who did see it in 3D, and they're like, it didn't really. I don't think it was made for 3D. Like they just kind of put that effect on there after.
Yeah.
So it didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Even though at some parts though, like the coloring of it made it seem like it's like they're just always showing the 3D version.
Yeah.
Did you kind of catch that?
Yeah. Well, I think they do play a lot with like the 3D colors, like the blue and reds,
Right.
where like they'll do kind of like
the primary color.
they'll do like a following trail of someone in like blue and red to make it look like it's supposed to be in 3D.
Right.
But I like that though because it made it seem like more of that pop art style, like it's like it is throughout.
For sure. Okay, spoiler time, JT.
Yeah.
Now, on Twitter or Facebook, I don't remember, one of the social medias, after you saw it, you said that you liked the movie, but it catered to an audience that maybe you're not.
Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate?
Well, I just felt like a lot of, especially like near the end when they're introducing all of the Spider-Men, it felt like a lot of the introductions to them felt like a previously on Lost kind of thing, where it was like I wanted to learn more, but they were just like, no, we got to do some more stuff. Just you're fine, you know enough.
See, my argument with that would be, I don't think you need to know any more than what you're given.
No, you don't, but I think, but they still gave me enough where I was interested and I wanted to know more, and then they were like, shut up. And then they kept going, where it was like, I almost would have preferred if they didn't say anything, and they would have just been like, here's more Spider-Man, and you're like, oh shit, okay. But then they gave me enough where I was like, ooh, that's fascinating. And then they're just like, no, okay, you got enough, we're fine now. And they moved on.
But if one of your complaints was like, you think it did too much, would you wanted more of that then?
If they did too much.
You said that this movie you feel like there's already a lot going on in it. Would you wanted more of that?
I mean, if they're gonna give it to me, I would want the whole thing.
Okay.
But, yeah, well, like I said, like, I think that I don't know, like, a lot of it is just, it does cater to more of, like, the Spider-Man reading audience. Like, I feel like there are, like, books that you could read that would make you enjoy it more. Like, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, like, there are moments in here where I was like, okay, like, this just isn't, this part isn't for me. This is for somebody else.
Okay.
Like, especially, like, the moments that I didn't get enough of, I felt like they skirted by it because they figured that the people that are seeing this already have a more of an understanding of it based off the books.
Okay. Being a reader of it,
yeah.
This is like a wholly, not completely original story.
Okay.
But I just grabbed Spider-Verse. If anyone was wondering, it's like, but that is not necessarily what the movie is about.
No.
Because it's like this mixed with a book called like Spider-Men. in where Peter Parker actually meets Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And I think that's more of a chunk of this story than this book would be, Spider-Verse. Yeah. Spider-Verse just introduces like a billion Spider-Men, and that's like the fun aspect of this movie.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, we want to play like a numbers game where you can have like a bunch of Spider-Men. They're all varied and different from each other for the most part. But where it's really a story about Peter interacting with Miles.
Yeah.
And then Miles is like family stuff.
See, like, because I think this movie would have worked more if the main character was like maybe Peter Parker, because everyone knows Peter Parker's story. Like, the thing that I thought was the most frustrating about it was that I don't know Miles' story, and I wanted more of Miles' story, but then they would kind of cut it off in certain aspects so they could do the Spider-Verse stuff. Where I was like, I mean, yeah, this is fun, but I want to get to know Miles more, because I don't know him. Like, and I feel like they did that because they are just like, well, everyone knows who Miles Morales is. I'm like, but I don't.
See, I don't think the movie shortchanges it at all. Like, I like the fact that they just pretty much, they still give you like a Peter Parker Spider-Man origin in this unabridged version.
Yeah.
But like the movie really does a lot of back story on Miles.
Yeah.
Like it gives you that he has a relationship with his uncle that he really likes, but his uncle's maybe not the best person.
Yeah.
But his dad's a cop, so that's a bad thing here or there. So, but like Miles doesn't necessarily know why his uncle or his dad doesn't want him talking to his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And so that family drama is interesting. His mom doesn't really have much to do in this.
Yeah.
She's just there as a loving person.
But like, yeah, but like I feel like in like a movie where they explored that more, I'd have more of an emotional tie to it. But I feel like they just kind of comment on it, and then they go into the Spider-Verse stuff. Like, they show that it's a thing, and then they go into the Spider-Verse stuff.
I never felt shortchanged on any of that stuff.
Like, I don't know, I just felt like I wanted more of... Like, I wanted him to interact more with his uncle, and I wanted to see more of that frustration from his dad about, like, I just want the best for him, and he doesn't realize it. And they comment on it, but I feel like what I could really get an emotional tie out of if they would have really focused on it, they're just like, this is a thing. This is a thing.
Mm-hmm. I like the reveal. Like, I knew the reveal was coming, that his uncle was the Prowler.
Yeah.
But Chelsea didn't, and she found it to be pretty surprising.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I guess I... maybe knowing too much about this going in, like, ruined some surprises for me, I guess. But I really liked that aspect of it, and once the reveal to him that Miles is that other Spider-Man, I really liked that aspect of... Even when they find out both each other's identities.
Yeah.
How, like, Miles finds out that his Uncle Aaron is the Prowler, and so he's like, holy shit, this sucks. And then he realizes, like, why his dad doesn't want him to hang out with him all the time. And then when the Prowler finds out that Miles is Spider-Man, and he's just like, holy shit, because, like, Kingpin pretty much has him at gunpoint, like, kill Spider-Man. And he's like, fuck, he's like my nephew, man, or whatever. And then the Kingpin shoots him. Yeah. Not Miles, but shoots Uncle Aaron. It's like, oh my god. And then he has to deal with, like, his dying uncle. So he has that Uncle Ben situation. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think it really does a good job carrying, like, emotional weight. And like, this is, like, the one part of the movie where it does slow down a little bit to give you that. Yeah. But I did want to sit in that a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Like, I feel like all of that stuff could have been, like, a movie by itself.
It could have been.
And I feel like all of that drama and all of that emotion was kind of undercut by, but here's a fun interdimensional thing. Right. Like, I feel like that could have been like a really cool, like, first Miles Morales movie could have been like, he becomes Spider-Man, he meets Peter Parker, and then Peter Parker takes him under his wing to show him what being Spider-Man's all about. And then the Prowler kills Spider-Man, and then Miles Morales finds out the Prowler's his uncle, and then he has this huge torment about like going into this like he like thought he knew what good and evil was, and now that he has this person he's looked up to his entire life kill someone that has pretty much taught him who he is. Like it totally fucks with his whole morale of like, who do I trust? Like how do I really be the Spider-Man that I'm supposed to be?
That'd be pretty cool.
And I feel like that could have been like a cool story by itself, but in this, because they have to really focus on the Spider-Verse stuff, I wouldn't say it's like a footnote in the movie, but it doesn't take precedence over like the big finale, like the big like interdimensional finale. And I feel like something like that has like a lot of weight to it needs to be like an almost essential focus to a film.
Yeah, but I think you're wanting more of a movie for you. I mean, you're making a movie for yourself in your head.
Yeah.
Whereas like this catered to like a kid audience that like to see all these like bouncy creatures jumping around and shooting webs and stuff.
I know, but my thing is like, okay, so if you want to make a movie like that, then make a movie like that. But I feel like they're two movies interweaved with each other that I feel like one kind of undercuts the other.
See, I don't know. I think it balanced itself.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I wasn't hating anything that I was watching, but I felt like I could have sat more in one moment, but instead they had to introduce another moment to keep the movie going.
There was actually more Peter Parker and Miles moments in this than I thought there were going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I thought with all these other characters in it, it'd be like a big, almost like kind of fighting for time kind of a thing. And it wasn't ever, I don't think. Once they were all on screen, I think they all worked really good as an ensemble.
Yeah.
But, like, what surprised me was that they were two Peter Parkers in this.
Yeah.
Like, there was the one in the very beginning from Miles's dimension.
Yeah.
Earth 1610, 1610.
Oh, okay.
Look out. That was voiced by Chris Pine, which would totally surprise me. And then he dies from the Kingpin, like, right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then that's what sets, like, Miles off to be like, oh my god, like, I need to be better and, like, a hero and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And
then he meets the other Peter Parker. I also like that it's Peter B. Parker, like an A and a B.
Yeah.
Like, Peter B. Parker, and that's voiced by Jake Johnson, who's not like the perfect Spider-Man like this other one was.
Well, I feel like he's what Spider-Man is destined to be like in later years, because we always see Spider-Man we always see Peter Parker when he's like at the latest maybe his mid-20s. We
Except
never
for
really
Homecoming.
Yeah. Well, at the latest, yeah. Like he's always either a teenager or like maybe at the latest his mid-20s.
Right.
We never really see him when he's
Played
like
by a 40-year-old Tobey
Yeah. But we never really see him when he's supposed to be like in his mid to late 30s. And in this they show it, and it's like you almost kind of see like what you should really expect, where it's like he's barely holding his life together as like a teenager.
Yeah.
So how is he like, it's just gonna end up being like this huge snowball to where it's like by the time he gets to his late 30s it's all gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
And I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, me too.
even down to where it's like this Peter Parker looks like he has a death wish, because he's always being like, don't worry guys, I'll just stay by, I'll die. Or it's like, you don't have to, like, the guy that lives here is literally standing right next to you. He can do it. Like, no, I'll just do it. You're fine, guys. You're right. Do you want to die? Do you legit want to kill yourself? No, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, but I also like the fact too that he plays it as like he's been Spider-Man for so long. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it. This is all this shit. I do this every day. It doesn't even surprise me anymore.
Yeah.
Even to the fact that like, even when he's like arguing with Miles, when Miles is trying to figure out his powers, like when they're outside talking and he's just like walking up a building, just casually talking, trying to figure out like the goober.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you broke it." And he's like walking up the building, and Miles is like trying to follow behind him, and he's like skidding down the wall and can't figure out how to wall climb.
Oh yeah, I love the play on physics in this too. Like even when he first figures out that he can walk and stuff, and he's like walking around the building.
Yeah.
And like he's got a pigeon stuck to his hand.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff is really fun.
Yeah. All that was good. Like I just love to see like the Jake Johnson Spider-Man he's like a superhero vet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a veteran.
Yeah.
So he can go out. He doesn't even have to. It doesn't even look. It looks effortless to him because he just does it all the time. And so I like that he's like jaded to all of it, because even when he's like talking to Miles one time where he's like, the Kingpin's gonna give him an ultimatum of 24 hours. Just listen. And he's like 3, 2, 1. You have 24 hours to get me what I want. He's like, told ya.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved all that stuff.
But
it was fun.
I listened to like a review of this where they talked about like how they loved the idea that like it's almost like he's taken like the words of Uncle Ben and like almost kind of shaped it, or almost kind of like twisted it into this weird mutant of what it originally meant. Where he's like, I just gotta be the hero all the time. No matter the cost. Where it's like, you do gotta take care of yourself though. I mean, you do kind of gotta take care of yourself.
Right.
Like now he's like a pot-bellied, like lives in a shitty apartment, like Mary Jane wants nothing to do with him, wears sweatpants, like he's just kind of a slob, but he's like, I'm saving the city though, that's what I do, I'll save the city. Where it's like, yeah, but you do gotta still take care of yourself. Like there are certain aspects where you gotta think about yourself.
Right. Excuse me, getting late.
Yeah, but no, he looks like someone who's just so weathered by being a superhero, and I love that idea of like them actually exploring that dimension of like of a Peter Parker, and like how Spider-Man can just wear on him to like now that he's just like a pot-bellied middle-aged man.
What did you think about the other Spider-Man in this?
I thought they were pretty interesting. Like I said, like they don't go too in depth on them, but I didn't really need them to. Like I like the idea of them just introducing them. Like, I loved, like, Nick Cage's Spider-Man Noir was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, even the fact that he couldn't see color at all. Like, he's trying to do a Rubik's Cube, and he's like, what's this? Purple. Okay. I don't get this. Like, he's just like... But, yeah, like, stuff like that was just... It was fun. And then, like, I mean, they introduced Gwen, but she doesn't do too much.
Right. The one weird thing about this is, like, when Gwen is introduced at first, because, like, her whole backstory is, like, I had showed up, like, a week before, because the timeline's different in my universe or whatever. And so when she first bumps into Miles, which she knows, like, something's up with him because they can spider sense each other.
Yeah.
She, like, says, like, my name is Gwendolyn. It's like, why'd you change your name? He doesn't know you. Like, what are you trying to hide if you did say your name is Gwen? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Till it took me out of the movie. Hated it.
Oh, gotcha. F.
F minus.
Oh, no. They really dropped the ball on that Gwen.
But otherwise, I liked her inclusion of her. I really dig the Spider-Gwen suit.
Oh, yeah. With, like, the hood and stuff look really cool.
Yeah, and it's got the webbing on the inside of the hood. And, like the color scheme in it's just great.
Yeah.
Instead of being the red and blue, it's like a turquoise and like fuchsia.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a super smart design.
Yeah. The Penny Parker one was super weird. Like, so she's friends with the spider, and the spider lives in the robot, and then
so that one was created by Gerard Way, the guy from My Chemical Romance, and it has very little to do anywhere else outside of the Spider Verse book.
Like, I was only getting glimpses of it from like they like did the backstory of her, and it's like, so she was bitten by a radioactive spider, but then the spider became her best friend, and then the spider lives in a robot that the spider controls. So she's still a Spider-Man, but the robot's also a Spider-Man.
It makes no fucking sense. I don't really like... I know why they incorporated her in this, because she could have an interesting design, but opposed to everybody else.
But no, I thought it was hilarious, though, because I just love that they introduced like, Spider-Man Noir and Spider Pig and
Spider Ham.
Spider Ham. My God, sorry, I don't want the Simpsons to sue him. And Penny Parker, like all at the same time, where it's like, okay, now it's just getting weird.
Yeah.
Where it's like you get the first three, where it's like, okay, these are just kind of normal people, and then it's like,
Right.
oh, here's a pig.
Right. I also like for Spider Ham, what I always forget is that he was a spider bitten by a radioactive pig.
Yeah.
And I always forget
I love that
and
shit.
I love that shit so much. And Spider Ham was like huge comical relief in this.
Yeah.
Because I like everybody else is just like, even Nick Cage is like, in my universe, I take it hard to crime using my fists or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Spider Ham's like, sometimes I have the ability to float in the air if I smell a really good pie.
Yeah. He's always like pulling like cartoon mallets out of his ass, and like
It's really funny. The one of the things that actually surprised me in this is that I was really surprised that the Catherine Hahn playing this scientist character ended up being Dr. Octopus.
Oh, I know. That was another thing that I liked. Like the reveals of some of the villains was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dr. Octopus was really cool in this. Even like her tentacles had like this weird like air pneumatic type look to them.
Yeah, like they were filled with like gel or something like
Yeah.
that. I thought it was a super smart idea.
It was really cool
to
looking.
not make them like big mechanical things,
Yeah.
but like actual. It made it seemed more octopus-y.
Yeah.
That's a terrible. I felt it coming out of my mouth wrong.
Octopussy.
But like just like the weird pneumatic gel filled like plasticky looking arms, I
Yeah.
thought were an ingenious
Yeah.
like invention by
Yep.
this, because this is a completely original design for it.
Really?
Like, she doesn't exist in the books.
Oh, it was really cool.
Yeah, and I
Especially
also-
like, she like introduced herself. She looks like kind of like a hippie.
Right.
Where you're like, who is this?
Right. And I also like that when she turns into Dr. Octopus, she puts her like hair up in like a beehive to even resemble like an octopus's
Yeah.
head even more. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what a fucking smart design.
I know.
this is.
Doc Ock in this was really fucking cool. She was
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite like villain characters in this whole thing.
What do you think about the villains in this? Because they had a whole bunch of them, but they only really focused on like a couple of them.
Yeah, I thought for the most part they were pretty cool. Like, I've never really been introduced completely to the whole Green Goblin where he's an actual goblin.
Yeah. There wasn't much of that in this movie, and
Yeah.
like I think it was even blown out of proportion in this movie too a little bit.
Yeah, he was enormous. He was like 9 feet tall.
So like in the regular Spider-Man universe, you just know him as Norman Osborn. He puts on a mask and he's like Green
Yeah.
Goblin, rides on a glider, all that shit.
Yeah,
In like the Ultimate Universe, which Miles is from,
yeah,
he injects himself with like something. He's the reason why Miles Morales gets his powers, because he's genetically modifying all these things because he's trying to find like the supreme like super soldier serum that Captain America got that they've never been able to replicate since the World War II or whatever.
yeah,
And so they're trying to test it out on animal testing and all this stuff. And the spider transfers it to Miles.
Yeah.
But then they can't duplicate that experiment.
Yeah.
So he just takes the serum and injects it in himself, like raw dogs himself
Yeah.
with this shit, right? And then so like that brings out like an evil part in him. So he like almost hulks out into like a goblin, but not to this extent in the movie.
yeah,
Like he's like maybe like the Hulk sized.
yeah.
And he can like shoot fire out of his hands, but he doesn't like have big bat wings and flies around or any of that
Or
shit.
he looks like a fucking dragon, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he looks more demonic in the books, but like he doesn't look like a full out dragon.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my tangent over on that one. But
Yeah.
like
But yeah, they have that, and they have like I think Tombstone is like one of the henchmen.
Right.
He doesn't do much.
nah.
In all honesty, I wasn't a big fan of the design of the Kingpin. He looked like Humpty Dumpty.
He looked like one of those he looked like one of those like mattress suits when you drive by like a mattress store and they're outside waving to come in.
He looks like a human version of those aliens from The Fifth Element.
Yeah, a little bit. Like two fridges.
Yeah.
like, in a suit. Yeah, I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of fun, but
Yeah.
like his was like the most he's probably even more cartoony than Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
Like, out of everyone who looked like a mildly realistic-ish character, he was like this big
like a hunchback, like an enormous hunchback.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I mean, he was a fine character for what it was, but it was just like he's got like this like weird like thumb of a head that sticks out in between like the middle of his body.
Yeah. Other than his design, I thought he was a pretty good character, and his whole plot to like bridge dimensions so he can get like his family back, I thought was unexpected twist. Like, trying to humanize him a little bit more.
Yeah, and I like the idea of it, but I think that's another thing where it's like I wish they would have done more with like actually like taken more of a backstory on like what his family life was like. But I think that's another one where it's like they're doing the universe stuff, so they can't really comment on it too much. It's just like, well, he had a family and they're dead, so now I was trying to get him.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if I'd want like I got just enough empathy for him in this, then that's all I needed. Like, I like in Daredevil, where D'Onofrio plays it, where, like, it's like a completely different kind of Kingpin, where they have, like, episodes just solely about him, and you can kind of see what he's dealing with. Mm-hmm. But I don't need a full-out thing like that for just, like, something like this. Like, it actually caught me by surprise that they were doing it at all. Like, he's just not, like, a straight-up bad guy.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh, he wants to get his family back because they died. But they died because he's a piece of shit. So, like, it's two-handed, but I do like his mindset. Like,
no,
I'll get all of my family together because I'm desperate at this point.
No, I'm all these, like, critiques I'm making, it's not because I hate the movie.
No,
like,
I'm not taking it like that.
Like,
I'm just...
It's just that, like, in, like, a certain film like this, like, when you are trying to take those emotional aspects, I want the movie to actually kind of make me emotional about it. Mm-hmm. I don't want him to be like, in movies when this happens, you get sad. So just think this happened, and then think back to that one time this movie made you sad when this thing happened. Like, that's how I usually take it. But I get what they're trying to do. Like, they can't like dwell on it for so long. Like, they can only do it in small bits where they have to really get to the rest of the story. But when they just kind of like, see, his family died. Isn't that sad? Remember in other movies when families died and it was sad? So just think of that. Like, that's how I usually kind of take it. Where I'm like, well, I'm not really getting like an emotional tie to his family. It's just, you're just showing me something that sucked for him.
Yeah.
But I get why they did it. Like, I'm not shitting on the movie. It's just, when they're doing something emotional, I want to actually feel emotional.
See, like, I don't think that would be like a great idea with this, because then you would feel like emotional, be like, oh, I see what he's trying to do, but like in the beginning of the movie, he literally punched Spider-Man to death in front of a child, and I'm like, do I want to feel empathy for him?
No, but that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna show a scene to make you feel empathetic, then that's where the conflict arises in you about the character. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're just gonna make him a piece of shit, then make him a piece of shit. But if you're gonna introduce something where it's like, but he wants to do this, then it's like, yeah, but you're not showing me enough of that to make me feel that way. You're just showing me that, okay, yeah, that's a thing.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Like, I understand that they want to introduce that aspect of him, and it's cool, but they don't introduce it enough to instill the feeling that they want me to have.
Yeah. What anything else you want to bring up about this movie here? What else you got?
Well, like I said, I thought like this would be like a really cool sequel, where if they did the Miles Morales story, and then with this, I feel like if they were to just do like a Spider-Verse sequel, where it's like, okay, they introduce like the multiple dimensions, but like maybe do it where it's like, okay, now he's being introduced to an older Peter Parker after he was trained by a younger Peter Parker, but this one's like a piece of shit, where he was like, oh, you're my mentor, but you're not my mentor, and then he deals with that, and then you can even introduce like other villains, maybe introduce another dimension of a Prowler that comes in, where it's like, oh shit, I'm reliving all the trauma of like when my uncle killed my mentor in front of me. Maybe introduce different aspects of villains that we've seen before. Like, he could totally do that, but because in this they only have so much to work with, and they only introduce other Spider-Men from other dimensions. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, That's cool. But I mean, it is cool. But I mean, like there's so much more you can do with it if you give it. If there's already an established Miles and you dive right into that, as opposed to, well, we have to establish Miles and then we have to and then we do the Spider-Verse stuff. Like that's why I think this would have been a better sequel as opposed to like a better like first movie.
Okay. What? I don't really have much else to say up until like did you say for the post-credit sequence?
I needed to get home because I was like legit, like Molly Pop was messaging me like, "Are you gonna come home soon?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm leaving." But I heard there was one.
So at first I didn't think it was worth it, but the more I think about it, like it made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
So the post-credit sequence, the whole time during the movie, I'm like, why didn't they introduce this one Spider-Man that lends itself to like dimensional hopping and all this kind of weird future-y stuff, like the Spider-Man of 2099.
Yeah.
The whole post-credit sequence is about him.
Yeah.
Where his like, because he lives in the far-flung future of 2099.
Yeah.
And he's Miguel O'Hara or whatever, and he's got like this AI assistant that creates like this watch for him to jump through dimensions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like at his will.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, finally I can do this. And his voiced by Oscar Isaac. And like in the credits, Oscar Isaac is credited as interesting person. So they didn't spoil the post-credit sequence. So anyway, he goes, all right, I need to travel to Earth 67 to finally stop it where it begins. And so he goes to Earth 67, and it's the animated 67 version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's like the meme where Spider-Man's pointing at another Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Except, like, it's the other Spider-Man is the 2099 Spider-Man in the 60s animation style, and they're pointing at each other. He's like, don't you point at me. Wait a minute, I point better than you. And then they're all just pointing at each other, arguing who points better.
Oh, my God.
And then, like, J. Jonah Jameson is like, this Spider-Man is a menace or whatever over on the side. And I was like, it made me laugh actually more than I thought it was going to. And I was like, that was worth it. And I had to piss so bad. And I was just like, this better be good. God damn it. Because I've been tricked before. But like, it was pretty good. I liked it. So like in a sequel, I'm assuming we're going to see some more of that stuff. More Spider-Man. Because there's Spider-Man aplenty in this.
Yeah.
And probably going to feature more of Spider-Gwen and probably other Spider-Women as well.
Okay.
Because there's actually, like, other Spider-Women in the original, like, Peter B. Parker universe that aren't multidimensional. They're just, like, they live in this world with them. And I'd love to see, like, more, like, Spider-Women just, like, that are different. Like, they don't really have spider powers. They're just Spider in name.
Yeah.
So Marvel didn't lose the rights to them. They just had to make a Spider-Woman character.
For in all honesty, it took me a little bit to kind of fall into Miles's like electricity and visibility powers because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and like honestly, in the books, he like still can't really control it.
Yeah.
And so like you kind of forget that he has those abilities anyway.
Okay.
But then you're like, he'll use them randomly, and it's like, oh yeah, he can do that. Okay, cool. But I like it that it just differentiates him a little bit more. He just doesn't. It's not the same cookie cutter Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's not just another Spider-Man.
Because
there's a part of him that's different from everything else.
There is a Spider-Woman that does have like that kind of shock power that he has.
Yeah.
That Spider-Man doesn't. So it's kind of ties it all together.
Mm-hmm.
On a whole, JT, I think this movie is pretty great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed a lot. There's some parts in it that like I had a grin from ear to ear, and there's parts in this that I thought were actually legit very funny.
Yeah.
I think it seemed like there was a bit of like improv going on in like the vocal booth a little bit here and there.
I can see that.
Especially with like Jake Johnson.
Yeah.
Like with his Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was some things that he was saying that I was like literally laughing out loud at.
Oh
yeah.
I
thought he was hilarious.
Oh no, I love it when like when he first shows up and he doesn't have like pants because he fucks up his pants when he gets.
Yeah.
So he's like legit wearing like the top half of a Spider-Man suit and sweatpants for like probably a good
chunk of the movie.
good chunk of the movie. He's just wearing a Spider-Man suit with sweatpants over it. I thought that was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the animation in this. The sound track was amazing. I really love that it focuses on somebody else rather than just Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So it's what fans really have wanted even before Tom Holland was cast. There's that whole thing where they wanted Childish Gambino to be fucking Miles Morales in a live action movie.
Yeah.
You know, and that never really took off, but he ended up playing his uncle in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. But see, like, I would, if they're gonna do a Miles Morales, I would want them to do like this age of Miles Morales, like middle school.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I feel like that takes on like a whole different aspect of what Spider-Man could be.
Right.
Because especially like in that age where it's like so developmental, where you're like, you really are like trying to deal with, okay, who am I gonna be as an adult?
Right.
And then you become Spider-Man, where it's like, well, shit, I didn't really expect this as as an aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Where like you're going through puberty and being a Spider-Man. Like
Right.
that would be an interesting thing to tackle.
Right. I in the book, I really like how it's handled quite a bit, because it also is kind of handed off in the same way where the Spider-Man of his universe dies around the same time he gets his powers.
Yeah.
And so he gets his powers, and like maybe a few months later, the real Peter Parker dies.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit. And like that moment like triggers it in himself, because he like looks up to him as a mentor already, and then his hero dies, and you find out that it was just this kid, and his like whole identity is outed.
Yeah.
And he's like, holy shit, like that is fucking intense. But he was even younger than Peter Parker when he starts, because see, like Peter Parker started when he was 16.
Yeah.
Miles is like 13 years old, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And so like even when he starts, he's like in some moments of the book, he's like called Spider-Man, but he's standing close to the police officer, and he's only like waist high on him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like a legit kid.
Yeah.
And so when he gets into weird situations, kind of like how it's in Spider-Man Homecoming a little bit, like near the end when the Vulture like buries him under all that rubble.
Yeah.
And he's like screaming for his life, and you realize like this is just a fucking kid dying. And you're like, holy shit.
I know.
This is heavy shit.
Yeah. Like you're literally watching a kid go through this shit.
Yeah. And it's like, it's moments like that when you realize like, oh my God, like this is really great kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really love like the old, like down on his luck mid-30s Spider-Man that's been doing it forever, and it's just like has been shit on his whole life. So like the only one I really don't, I guess, like is the one that's in his 20s. Like, because I like him when he's like super young and stressed out, doesn't know what to do, he's still developing, or the one that's just like, I just want to end it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I like the one in the middle as much. I mean, that's the one we get all the time. Like,
yeah.
But
I know, like this one is like super like sophisticated. Like they go into like his lair,
right? And he's got like the Iron Man.
He's pretty much. Oh my God, he's got all the. He's even got the fucking one from the video game in there. I saw that one.
God, that video game got so popular so quick.
It
that
did.
They just
Jesus
shoved itself
Christ,
everywhere.
Yeah, but but I like the idea of that, where it's like you can imagine like Peter B. Parker got to that point, and then there's got to be something where it's like. It just, his stock just went pew right from there, where it's like everything just fell apart.
Yeah. See, I like to think of it like the Peter B. Parker always wanted it to be like this, but for whatever reason, his life always zagged when it should have zigged.
Yeah.
And like, he's just like, fuck, he's got this. I wanted this shit. Like, I like it that he never got to that point.
Yeah.
And so like, it's just funny to me, like, how we can get to like a point where it's like, man, I suck. Yeah. Like none of this is working out for me at all.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, why don't we just give it a final grade? Because we're just like spinning our wheels.
Oh
here.
yeah. But no, like I said, even for like the complaints that I have, I think all in all, it's still a really enjoyable flick. Like all of the animation's amazing. Like the story, even though personally I would go certain ways with it, I think it still holds together to like it's still a really enjoyable story to follow. from beginning to end. So I'm going to give it a really strong A. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I thought going into this that it was not going to be evenly distributed between all these characters that are introducing, and I was pleasantly surprised on how balanced it was with having 6 Spider-Men, 6 bad guys in it, kind of. Like, some were just thrown in, whatever. Having a fairly convoluted sounding plot, but I think all of it coalesced into like something really special here. So I'm gonna give it an A+.
Oh,
like,
shit.
it might be one of my favorite movies all year.
All right.
And like, that's me pretty judgy as a comic fan and as a Spider-Man fan. So because I was really gonna put this under a fucking microscope, and I loved like every second of this movie.
All right.
I would love to go out and see this again.
Yeah.
But I gotta go see Aquaman.
Gotta go see Aquaman.
So yeah, A friggin' plus.
Right on.
From this guy over here.
Right on.
Besides Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
You get into anything else this last week, JT?
Well, Troy, I saw the film Black Klansman.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. The Spike Lee joint.
Yeah?
And the thing about Spike Lee is that he gets really preachy with his films. That's why I'm never like the biggest fan of his. But I saw like this was up for like Golden Globes, and they were like talking about Oscar buzz for it. So I was like, okay, I'll check this one out.
Yeah.
And all in all, like I liked the main character in it. I can't remember his name. I think he's actually like Denzel Washington's kid.
Yeah, I think so.
And, he's good. Adam Driver's really good in it. And like all in all, I think the actors do a really good job in it. But Spike Lee is still really preachy in this.
I heard it kind of gets to that.
Yeah,
like,
there is a literal scene where a man preaches.
Oh boy.
And like I never like to be super judgy about this because I understand that it's like a movie about subject material that doesn't like affect me directly.
Right.
So I don't want to like comment on it where it's like, oh fuck you, just get onto the story. Or it's like, I know, I understand you got some stuff to say.
Right.
But I think he still takes it in a way where, like, if he really wants to make a statement, I feel like he should try and make it more down to earth. Where like he makes all the Klan members in this very cartoony.
Okay.
And for the exception of like Topher Grace, who's really good in this, is David Duke.
I heard.
Like it's really crazy where it's like he does strike you as someone where it's like you hear him say some foul, terrible fucking shit, but he's so charming in a way where it's like I can see how you could be a politician. Like not when he says that shit, but like when he's just like talking to someone personally and he likes them and he's trying to get them to like him back. Like he's charming in that way where it's like, oh yeah, if I didn't know that you were a racist piece of shit, I think you were a nice guy. But then like he just like starts going like when he's like actually around like other Klan members and he's just like spouting off just these terrible fucking racist shit. But he says it, but he still like keeps like that tone of voice where it's like, boy, I tell you, those whatevers are sure just the worst.
Whatever.
Yeah, where it's like, oh god. Like, but he never changes his tone of voice, so then it makes you almost hate yourself, and you're like, God damn it, you were charming at one point. Fuck you.
God.
But no, all the other Klan members are just so cartoony. Like there's like a legit like fat dude that's just like, you're like, oh my god, you're really trying to make a statement with this. You got a fucking slack-jawed yokel fat pig fucker that's just like we like black people. Like, all right, Spike Lee, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And and like I think like he tries to take a route where it would have been interesting where like he the main character in it is like infiltrating both the Klan and the Black Panther Party. So it's kind of like showing like the correlation between the two, where I thought like if he would have taken more of an open mindset approach, it would have been really interesting, but it's definitely like he's definitely saying Black Panthers are right and Klan members are wrong. Like he's definitely taking that stance. And yeah, Klan members are shit.
Yeah.
But I think there's a movie that Daniel Radcliffe was in called Imperium that I thought was really good in terms of like this subject material where like you're introduced to people who all in all like the only aspect about that's terrible about them is that they are just racist pieces of shit that think that the white race is superior. But other than that, like, they're really good people.
Oh, I think you were telling me about this.
Yeah, and it's really interesting where it's like Daniel Radcliffe like almost becomes friends with a guy who's like a huge member of the Klan because he's just the nicest guy, but it's just once you get on the subject of the white race, he just turns a completely different person where you're like, holy shit, I didn't know this was a part of you. And I think that's more interesting than just completely labeling them as just all out, just total fuckbags that like this one does.
It is more interesting, but I can see where the stance you wanted to take, like, listen, I'm just doing a shorthand here.
Yeah.
Like, these are racist fucks. I don't want you to empathize with them at all.
No, and I get that too, but then he also goes into like the subject of like the police where like the
sure.
like the guy the main guy who he's like a police detective, but then he's like infiltrating the Black Panther Party and shit. And Black Panther's just strictly like fuck cops.
Right.
So like when he gets into those discussions where it's like, why would you be part of an establishment that inspires like violence against black people? Like anytime that he's given the opportunity to comment on that, he just skirts it all together. Like even at the very end, there's like, okay, you have to decide either me or the cops, and he's just like standing there like you're trying to like figure out, okay, what's he gonna say? Like how is he gonna try and bring this all together? And then it ends with a knock on the door, and they're like, someone's at the door, and they pull their guns, and then the movie ends. So you're like, so you never really commented on it. You just kind of said that, I don't know. And then, like, I understand that he's trying to make a point, but I feel like he made it more cut and dry than I feel like it would have made more of a statement if he was like, let's really dive into, like, what's the real divide between us, as opposed to, fuck these guys, we're right.
Okay.
That's my only complaint. Otherwise, I thought it was pretty good. It's one of my more favorite Spike Lee movies.
Okay. I honestly haven't seen hardly any of his, to be honest.
Yeah. But
that's just how I am. Have you heard this podcast before? For a movie podcast, it seems like I don't see shit. Anything else?
Outside of that, I watched a movie on Netflix called The Cold of July, that has Michael C. Hall in it, which I heard like a while back that it was really good, but I never really dove into it, and I watched it. It's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Like Michael C. Hall just plays like this guy. All I'll say is that he plays a guy that wakes up in the middle of the night with a guy robbing his house, and he freaks out and accidentally shoots him and kills him, and then it just leads into a chain of events where it's like a half hour in, there'll be events that you don't see coming, and then even like halfway through the movie, there's events you don't see coming.
Okay.
Where it's like, where are you fucking going with this movie? And it's pretty crazy.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely check out Cold of July. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Like Don Johnson plays like a really like crazy lawyer person. Like he has like this like weird like jacked up car, and like he's just like a fucking, he acts like a playboy, but he's like a lawyer. Like he's fucking awesome in this. But yeah, check out Cold of July if you have a chance too.
All right. Sounds good. I checked out the Arrowverse Elseworlds event.
Okay.
I think I brought up that I watched the first episode of it last week, but
Yeah.
I finished all of it the few days after that.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty well put together.
Yeah.
For a TV event. It was fun. It was interesting. Like, I haven't watched these shows in like probably 3 years.
Yeah.
But like I dove in and they gave me enough to like, okay, I guess there's some strife going on here. If I watched for the last 3 years, I'd probably be sick of it by now, but now this is still fresh to me, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
They bring up like big things in like the whole DC canon universe, and I was like, oh wow, they're really going here.
Nice.
I thought it was fun, and it's kind of like Enter the Spider-Verse a little bit, where there's alternate versions of like characters that you know, but there's little twists on them here and there. So I was like, I really enjoyed this, and it's only 3 episodes long.
Nice.
Thought it was fun. I would recommend watching it. If the CW app is free, check out the Elseworlds event while you still can, because I think they cycle out episodes.
Yeah.
And they also, at the end of the 3rd part, tease an event that they're going to do next year.
Okay.
That they're going to do Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like the
shit.
huge event that like changed DC Comics in 1986.
Yeah.
Like the biggest event like that anyone talks about at DC. They're going to try to do on the CW. And they've kind of already put in things in place already in this Elseworlds event that they did.
Yeah. And
so they don't have to like do it all next year.
Mm-hmm.
They've already have things in motion to make it happen. So like I'm very curious on how they're going to pull it off. The Batwoman intro.
Yeah.
Got to see her. The action in it was pretty good. I don't think I like Ruby Rose as an actor though.
Yeah, she's not good.
She comes off pretty one note.
Yeah.
In this. And I'm like, ugh. Like, it works for Batwoman, because she's kind of got to be cold and kind of, like, against everybody else. But even as just, like, her alter ego, it's like, you're just coming off as, like, a bitch. And, like, that's, like, the one note you're coming off as. Like, I don't know. Like, it was... If she gets her own series, maybe she'll grow.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, otherwise, I was... Like, for as much hype as it was getting, I was like, I don't know. I don't like... It's the acting is what's ruining it for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the look of the character is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Love that red hair.
It's great red hair. And then also, the guy who plays Superman is back in this that plays on TV.
Oh, yeah.
What a great Superman. He's probably one of the best ones.
Wow.
Like, he plays a great, charming Clark Kent that's not, like, a physical, imposing specimen like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And then when he's, like, Superman, he's, like, super, like, well-natured and helping and caring and, like, you can believe that he wants to legit help you.
Who knew that would work?
Who fucking knew, right? And there's even a point in this, too, where he gets to play, like, an evil version of himself. And he even does that really well. Like, he switches off back and forth. I'm like, oh, my God. What a great time to be alive, huh?
Imagine if he played, Russian or Red Sun Spider-Man or Superman.
That'd be great.
It was like a Russian accent.
Oh, my God. I can't even imagine. Just that stereotypical Russian accent.
Love it.
I also dove back. I flipped on the PS3 this last weekend.
Whoa, hello.
Realized I haven't ever beat the Telltale Batman game that I paid the season pass for. Loaded that back up and played Chapter 4 of it.
How'd that go?
I beat it, so...
Oh, good.
I didn't finish the game yet, so I don't know. The chapters take longer to play than I thought. It took me like an hour and a half to beat it.
Well, yeah, because they're chapter. They're not gonna like. Oh, here's 15 minutes.
Well, I know, but I was just like, whatever. And then I still think though that like it's not made to be on a PS3. It's made to be like on a PC or a higher generation console, because like it still has like a ton of lag.
Yeah.
Like when it gets to the actiony portions where you have to be like hit right and then down X and all this kind of stuff, like it'll like lag and I'm like, I'm doing it, and then I'll like die, and then I'll have to start over and do the action scene again. So like that was kind of a bummer, but like I'm still a stickler for the Telltale like choose your reaction type stuff. I really like that a lot, even though now the Telltale's like not a thing anymore. But
they got shut down. Boof.
I know, but still like it. I'll finish it sometime. Who knows? The next 10 years.
It reminds me of that one time where I think for like your birthday one year, I got you like that Marvel Ultimate Alliance for PS2.
Yeah.
So I was like playing it on my Xbox, and I was like, oh, Troy's gonna fucking love this. Mm-hmm. But it was like for like just like a generation below, and it was like it kind of sucked.
Yeah, I did.
I felt so bad because I remember I was there while you were playing, and I'm like, oh god, I really got a shitty gift for him this year. Like the levels were like super short because
Right.
they could only fit so much on it. Where you're like,
Right.
oh man,
It was really made for the PS3, but I got the PS2 version.
Yeah.
And it's like the dumbed down
yeah,
version of
it's
it.
so bad.
And I was like, I was playing it and still like enjoying it enough,
Yeah.
but I was just like, I've already played it at Dinosaur Neil's house on the PS3.
Yeah.
And like, even I know.
I felt so bad watching it. Oh god, I got a shitty gift. Such a piece of shit.
But I didn't have a PS3 at the time, and I really wanted to play it, so I appreciated the effort. But that's pretty much it. That's all I've been into this last week, JT.
Right on.
Well, if people want to tell you how much of a piece of shit gift giver you are,
Yeah.
where could they do
Also,
so?
if you want to tell me how dumb I am for critiquing Spider-Man, you can find me at Bucky for Everyone on Twitter, also Bucky for Everyone on Instagram, and Bucky for Everyone on Snapchat. Troy.
You can find me at TroyTheMax on Twitter. You can find us both at ReviewReviewPod on Twitter. All of our new episodes are also uploaded onto Facebook.com/ReviewReviewPod and on our hosting site, ReviewReviewPod.podbean.com. But the action does not stop there, JT.
But there's more!
We're also on a multitude of other platforms such as Stitcher and Spotify and Google Podcasts. You can find us on Alexa devices if you so dare.
Ooh.
And if you happen to be an Apple user and you use Apple Podcasts, why don't you give us a rate and review there? Because if you enjoy the show, that'll help other people find the show as well.
And how?
If you want to write into the show, which other people have been known to do so, you can do so on all of the social media platforms, also including reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. Wow. That was like the easiest I've ever gotten through those, I think.
Well
A
done.
natural flow.
Well
After
done.
200 so episodes, I finally done it. That's the show for this week, JT. We've really put to bed Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
We did.
One of the better movies this year from both of us, we said.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm just putting words in your mouth.
Well, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying maybe
Don't
it's
dig
not my...
yourself out. You don't have to
I'm
defend
just
yourself.
saying it's maybe not my cup of tea.
Next Monday, this upcoming Monday, rather, we
Christmas
have
Eve.
Christmas Eve episode. We're putting to bed, putting to rest the argument, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
We will have the definitive answer coming up Monday for our review there.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, Aquaman.
Aquaman.
See how that fares.
And then for the Monday after that, I'm only saying it because we're going to leave it up to you folks. Because we got one more spot left for a movie we missed in 2018. And since me and Troy don't feel like paying money for movies anymore,
We spent a lot of money already on gifts.
We did.
We just need something that we
we need
already have.
yeah, something that's easy to access. And because Troy is always a skeptic when it comes to films on Netflix, I've
Yeah.
decided to leave it up to you to pick between 4 films from Netflix that have gotten a lot of buzz over the last year, and we will do a Monday ep on it. And the 4 films that I've picked are a film that is getting a lot of Oscar buzz right now.
Really?
The Alfonso Cuarón Roma
Okay.
on Netflix.
Okay. Like the tomato.
Yeah. Yeah, Roma tomatoes. It's all about tomatoes in it. The film that came out earlier this year from Duncan Jones, Mute.
Oh.
I've heard mixed things about that, but I've heard some good things too.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Like a tomato.
The Coen Brothers film, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs,
I still haven't seen that, so that'd be cool. Okay.
and a film that just came out not too long ago that's been called The Quiet Place for Eyes, Bird Box.
Bird Box.
So between those 4 films, we'll put out a poll for that. We'll let you people decide which Monday ep we will do in 2 weeks. And we'll see which film will put a period on our sentence as we put together our best films of 2018.
That's right. Full stop.
Full stop.
Roma, Bird Box, Buster Scruggs, and Mute.
Yes.
Got it. That'll do it. I think, JT.
That
we should wrap it up.
will do it.
We should wrap it up. Well, that's it.
Okay.
At first, I was like, "Did we do plugs?" We did do plugs.
did do
I just
plugs.
bragged on how I did them real good.
Doing real good.
Did them real good.
Oh, doing real good.
So, JT, until next time, where we are going to review Die Hard,
Yes.
I would like to exit the show as Troy to the Max Extreme.
I will also second your motion as JT3K.
And we are just going to be off until then. We're off.